Hey guys, zapOphilia here with new updates to the drone system. We're going to discuss blueprints, combinations, naming, and at the end of this video, I'm going to build 5 bots and make drones to support their playstyle. But first of all, let's see the updated list of microchips. No new microchips were added or removed, but there were a lot of name changes and a few optimizations. So let's go over that. The cannon shooter allows your drone to attack random enemies within 500 meters. The minigun shooter is the same but a different fire rate since it's a different gun. Imitating rocket shooter, it shoots whoever you shoot within 350 meters, and for the rifle, it shoots whoever you shoot within 800 meters. This increases the battery capacity of your drone. This adds corrosion damage to your drone's inbuilt weapons. Anti-acid reduces the effect of corrosion on your bots. This freezes a targeted enemy if you receive a lot of damage. Control resistor slows down the accumulation of status effect. This allows your robot's weapons to accumulate suppression on enemies. This allows your drone's weapon to bypass resistance. This suppresses a targeted enemy if your bot receives a lot of damage. This allows your robot's weapons to accumulate lockdown on enemies. Death marks a targeted enemy if your bot receives a lot of damage. Freezer allows your weapons to accumulate the freeze effect on enemy robots. When the Battleborn module is activated, you get a significant damage boost. You get a temporary damage boost every time you activate a healing module. This gives you a damage boost while your robot is locked down. This only works if your robot was suppressed then came out of suppression. You get a temporary damage boost. This microchip boosts your damage every time you use an active module. You get a damage boost while immune to the freeze effect. Anti-control can also give immunity. Similarly, this gives you a damage boost while immune to suppression. Struggling Intensifier has been changed to Unassailable Intensifier. It gives a significant damage boost while Last Stand is activated, while Liberating has been changed to Unimpeded and it gives a damage boost while immune to lockdown. This gives you a lot of defense points while your robot is locked down. If lockdown accumulates up to 50% on your bot, you get extra defense points. Extra defense points anytime your robot's durability falls below 30%. This gives extra defense points while your robot's ability is on cooldown. Extra defense points if freeze accumulates up to 50% on your bot. A significant defense boost while your robot is suppressed. Your robot gets a defense boost every time you activate a healing module. Extra defense points anytime your durability falls below 50%. You instantly heal a fixed amount of health anytime yours falls below 30%. You recover a percentage of your health every time you come out of phase shift, including by pilot. If your health increases by 20,000 in 3 seconds, you heal some more. If you receive a lot of damage quickly, you instantly regenerate a ton of health. If you receive a lot of damage, you instantly repair some health. The combined microchips feature is now functioning. Basically, for each tier, you can mix a certain number of lower tier microchips to create a higher tier microchip. 15 tier 1 chips and 50 gold to make a tier 2 chip. You need 10 tier 2 chips and 200 gold to make a tier 3 chip. For tier 4 you need 5 tier 3 chips and 500 gold. Now the cost isn't proportional to the cost of microchips in the store, so hopefully this is not the final price, because I personally would not pay 500 gold to get a random tier 4 chip. But let's try it out with the armed sockets autofill and see what we get. What does this do? You're about to clear all combination slots. Okay, so there's also a way to clear it all. You can put specific ones, or Autofill, I'm pretty sure I have multiples of everything. What? Okay, Pixonic, you guys have to put the new microchip on my screen so I know exactly what it is. Now I'm going to have to search through my inventory, but it doesn't matter because I'm 100% sure I have one of each. But it looks like I either got an imitating rocket or a rifle shooter. Anyway, I think the price is not realistic considering how affordable the chips are in the store right now. Hopefully that's not the final price. Also, Pixonic added a new handy feature to make understanding drones easier for new players, and those are info boxes when you click specific areas. So let's find out what everything does. The square-shaped C-type or defense microchips increase your robot's defense and durability. B-type or attack microchips increase your drones. So the defense microchips affect your robots, while the attack microchips increase your drones or robots attack power and damage. So it's clearer now in the game. A-type microchips or effect microchips provide your drones or robots weapons with special effects such as lockdown or freeze, or operate as battery microchips that give your drone additional energy capacity. And finally, D-type or repair microchips allow your drone to repair your and your allies' robots. Wow, that's interesting. So the repair microchips have been changed. There's no longer a possibility for shields like the Pantheon shields, Aegis, energy shields. Drones are confirmed to not give you any sort of shielding, but they're saying here that in the future you may be able to repair your allies as well as yourself. Then if we click here, battery capacity determines how many microchips can be installed in the drone. And here, deploying your drone in battle costs power cells. The amount of power cells depends on what microchips are installed in the drone. So I think all this makes drones less complicated for first-time users. So everyone is going to get the starter drone for free. And then there are 7 spaces total to build your own drones. To build a drone, you have to first buy the drone's blueprints. These are not the final prices, but lower tier drones can be bought for silver, while higher tier drones can be bought with gold. But before you buy a blueprint, you have to decide which blueprint to buy. Drones have 3 stats: how many weapon sockets it has, how many non-weapon sockets, and how much energy it has to power microchips. Once you buy a blueprint, its non-weapon sockets are randomized and it gets an energy value within its energy range. So you can get this, or this, or this, or this. The possibilities are endless. 4 new drones have been added to the store. Good guy. For drones with arms controller sockets or weapon sockets, the built-in weapons section here tells you the kind of firing animation it has. The logo is also on the arms controller socket. So the good guy fires kinetic bullets, while for instance the eye fires energy shells. Fly. The third is Defender, and last but not the least, Discus, making for a grand total of 11 drones. Interestingly, if you try to sell a drone, you see a more realistic price. So Tier 4 drones sell for about 400,000 silver. Tier 1 drones sell for about 10,000 silver. So this is not a confirmed price, but it gives us an idea of how differently the prices will vary. It looks like Tier 1 and Tier 2 drones are going to be extremely affordable, while Tier 4 drones could be expensive. Multiple drones have identical stats, making the choice between them a matter of which drone fits your taste for cosmetic purposes. Also, it looks like Pixonic is going to give us the ability to rename our drones. So if you have multiples of the same type of drone, you can still tell them apart in the heat of battle. And that covers all the new updates on drones. Now I'm going to build specific drones for each of these bots in my hangar right now. First up is the Aldrin Redeemer. And with the cyber skin, it's a close range brawler with intense damage. In this build they're testing a new Redeemer buff of about 15%. So I'm not going to use any pilot skills so we can see clearly when the drones are walking, and I'm going to unequip all these passive modules. But I'm going to leave the advanced repair unit healing module since you easily know when I use that. For this Aldrin I chose the Fly. It's a tier 2 drone, but I chose it mostly because the color matches and I want to see how that will look in battle. First of all, and it also happens to have perfect slots for what I need. First, for the D-type microchips that heal, I've chosen Perilous Repairer, which is the most powerful repair microchip, although it has very specific conditions. So if the robot receives more than 100,000 damage within 5 seconds, it repairs a portion of its durability immediately. This is different from healing modules and abilities that heal you over time. This gives you 80,000 HP instantly. But clearly this only happens when a bot does significant damage, and it won't activate if your HP is already below 100,000 damage. That's why I chose the advanced repair unit, so I can keep generating damage for meta bots to deal to me, and then I heal 80k damage and an insane cooldown time of 5 seconds. Obviously, to counter this, you just have to damage the bots over time and not kill him too quickly. Then in the first effect slot, I put anti-acid because we know in Aldrin versus Aldrin fights a lot of dragon breath is going to hit you, so this is decreasing the amount of damage over time I take by 20%, which is going to help me when other Aldrins lock onto me. And then we ran out of batteries, so I used the battery microchip, got 8 extra energy, just enough to equip the auxiliary intensifier, which is also really good after an active module is used. Increases the robot's damage output for 10 seconds. Let's talk about the new user interface. At the bottom, you can switch between the bot and drone hangars. You can also go into battle without a drone, and my favorite feature, you can collapse and expand it. Unfortunately, there was a bug with the healing module, so I couldn't test microchips out as much as I wanted. Second up, guys, is the Glacier Rime HellBurner, which not only looks really good, it's also really destructive. But for this bot that is basically a walking bomb, I want to build a drone that optimizes my gameplay as much as possible. And we're going to use the Discus. Since HellBurner is a living weapon, I decided my drone does not need to have a weapon, and Discus just looks like a perfect optimizer. So first of all, I needed some kind of healing, and from the Aljun gameplay we already saw that though the Perilous Repairer is by far the most powerful healing microchip, it also has a really steep activation value, 100,000 damage in 35 seconds. So, and in the test server everything is maxed out at level 8, so I don't want to play on that risk. What I chose instead was the Recurrent Emergency Repair. When the robot's durability falls below 30%, it repairs a portion immediately. And the important thing about this is it's a recurrent microchip, meaning it can activate multiple times in battle. And why I'm choosing this is so I can maximize the number of times I get to explode in battle. Then I put in a tier 4 battery microchip. So the first defensive microchip I chose, Recurrent Emergency Defender. When the robot's durability falls below 30%, I get 45 defense points for 5 seconds, 10-second cooldown, and if I can heal past 30% again and go down within that 10 seconds, I can actually activate it with my ability. It will activate once again, so that's interesting. The second is the Recharging Defender. When the robot's ability goes on cooldown, increases the power of his defense system for 10 seconds. Now this is a no-brainer for the HellBurner, but I want to figure out if I can chain them. Since my cooldown time is 5 seconds, if I can chain these Recharging Defenders, that would be perfect. And then the Impaired Defender, as long as suppression is active, increases power of robot defense system. So suppression is a big thing, Invader, Blitz, and of course the Nightingale. If I'm ever suppressed, you know how bad that is for the HellBurner. I get 60 defense points, which is quite significant. Hey guys, we're not noticing the healing because of the random timing of my HellBurner's ability. So let's say I heal by just 12% and I explode at the same time, you're just going to see me lose HP instead. So I've decided to switch to a phasing repairer and equip a phase shift to the HellBurner. Okay guys, now for the Chimera Weyland. For such a passive support bot, I want to try something different. I'm going to build a drone that's going to attack for me, that's attack anyone around me, and let's see how effective that drone can be. Now the perfect drone for that is DSC's all-seeing eye. I chose the target seeking minigun, then I put in a battery microchip, and using the remaining energy on the remaining 3 effect slots, I gave the drone's weapons some boost. So we have a defense mitigator. My drone's weapons can now bypass resistance by 70%. We have an acid sprayer. Drone's weapons now have damage over time. Finally, we have a vexing death mark. This doesn't affect the drone directly, it affects enemies. But basically, I want anyone that hits me too badly to get a death mark, and then my drone will also benefit from that death mark. I also equipped a death mark module, so I think it's perfect. Let's jump into a game. So I messed up and didn't record this clip with sound, but I'm just going to show scenes of when the eye hits enemies and you can see his corrosion actually working. The only thing I've noticed is it doesn't do that much damage on its own, and I don't know if the stat is from the armed controller or the inbuilt weapon. But I guess before drones are released, they might get a significant damage boost. So, they actually contribute to your opponents. Look at it here. It does so little damage. Next up is the Behemoth's Nucleon. And for this bot, I want to create a drone that will help this bot do every kind of status damage. Now the best drone would have been the Wasp for cosmetic purposes, but currently the store isn't working and I don't have a Wasp with enough effect sockets. So instead we'll use this glider. First slot here gives me lockdown damage, the second gives me suppression. Sorry, the first two actually give me lockdown, so I'm assuming it's a stack up to 4%. The third right here gives me suppression, and over here gives me freezing, but I ran out of energy, so I had to use a tier 3 freezing. Now everything looks great. So guys, this video is getting a little long, so I'm just going to summarize my opinion here. I feel drones are not as overpowered as people think because each microchip has extremely specific conditions for them to activate. and you can't just put random things together and make something good. You have to actually put some thoughts into it. That's it for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay humble.